Welcome to foreclosure.com Success Story. Today I have with me Greg Bales. Welcome, Greg.
Good morning. Thank you.
And where are you? And tell us a little bit about where you're from, Greg, and what you do besides investing in foreclosures.
Okay. Well, I was originally born in Indiana. Moved to Florida when I was about 18 months old. So I pretty much grew up in Florida, raised. Grew up in Fort Myers, and then went up to Orlando, and now down in the Fort Lauderdale area for the last 9 years or so. I grew up working for Publix supermarkets. I started with them very young, 15 years old, and I worked for them for 24 years.
Wow.
And I retired from them about 6 years ago, and that kind of ventured into my real estate business and other businesses that I now have when I left Publix.
Okay, so, and how did you get involved in investing in real estate? What pulled you into it?
Well, I had a very good job with Publix, and I made good money, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. I was kind of caught in that rat race. And so I started looking for other things, and I heard about a local seminar on the radio. So I attended the seminar, and I ended up joining. It was a real estate investment group. And I joined that group, and through that I started buying properties. And then I actually started working for them a little bit and doing some teaching. And as often happens when you do things like that, you meet a lot of other like-minded individuals. So through that, I took on some other business ventures, and things just kept growing. So as the real estate, within about a year, it allowed me to retire from Publix.
Wow,
and then I started doing other business ventures and continued doing real estate and some other business interests that I have.
So 6 years ago, you head down this avenue, right? And then we had some things occur. How have you managed the wave and the bubble and the burst, if you will, of that bubble?
Well, I bought quite a few properties back right before the bubble, or right at the bubble, rentals mostly that we were renting. And I still own most of those rentals that what we're doing. I did take a few years off during the bubble and right around that to follow some other business interests.
Okay.
Because nobody seemed to be sure what the market was doing, and it was going down and everything. So I did take a few years off of real estate, do some other business stuff. About 3 years ago, I decided to get back into real estate. So I started reconnecting with some local groups that I had networked with before. Started kind of getting re-educated on the market. Took me about 6 months to figure out what I wanted to specifically invest in and what I wanted to do, which I decided was rehabs, which is remodeling homes. So I buy the home, remodel it, and then sell it back out, retail it out. And that's what I'm currently doing now.
Okay, great.
As far as real estate.
And in fact, one of the reasons why I was so interested in visiting with you is you're doing something a little bit different. And share with us what that is in these rehabs, and what your process is and what your business plan is.
The rehabs, we really focus on providing a really nice end quality product to the customers. So we put probably more money into them than a lot of people do. So when we buy the homes, we really look at them that we're going to live in them, or they're our house. So we go through, and even things that may not need to be fixed, or that could be put off, I guess is a good way to say it, we'll go ahead and fix those. So we do put a lot more money into them, and we offer a really nice product coming out the other side with the homes that we do.
And part of your initiatives include community redevelopment. So share with us a little bit what that means and what it is you're doing in that.
Well, about 2 years ago, one of the speakers at one of our meetings was about nonprofits, and they help people get their own nonprofits started. And I had decided way back when I did this was that I wanted to give back to the community. So I had always given a portion of my profits back to the community and worked with a lot of local nonprofits on their rehab needs or different things that they have. Most of them have properties that they need help with. But through hearing that speaker and going down that road, I actually decided to start my own nonprofit, which was something before that night I had never really considered. But it's something that laid heavy on me, and I decided that I needed to do that. So we started that about 2 years ago. So now we actually have our own nonprofit, and we're moving a lot of our real estate business into the nonprofit. So the nonprofit actually buys the home and fixes it up and offers it back to the community. And then we've also, since I do a lot of work with Home Depot, I've met with Home Depot as well, and they have a program called Framing Hope, which they partner each one of their retail stores with a 501c3, a nonprofit. And they donate goods, mostly discontinued items or different things that they're allowed to donate from their vendors. So I've actually started a Framing Hope warehouse in Broward County.
Wow.
Currently I'm partnered with 6 Home Depots that donate goods. So I have it's kind of like a retail store, but it's not for individuals. It's only for other 501c3s that can come and get goods that they need from it. So
That's great.
Yep.
And that's awesome. Again, something a little bit different, but it started all out because of investing in real estate. That's really great. So you're giving back to your community. And in fact, the name of your community, or the name of your group is?
Morning Day Community Solutions.
Okay, and I love that. So what tips would you give to homeowners that might be struggling right now?
The main thing is really just trying to get in front of the problem, because a lot of people just try and ignore it and think it's going to go away, and it's not. It may take a while because things are running slow right now and courts are backed up and all that, but sooner or later it's going to get foreclosed on, or something's going to happen. I think most people get frustrated with the timing that it takes with the banks and dealing with all the paperwork and that kind of stuff. But if they reach out to their community organizations or real estate groups around the area, there are a lot of free services out there that people can subscribe to or get help from. They don't need to pay for those services. That can offer them help to get them through their problems.
Right, and that's a really good point, because I think we continue to see a lot of scams and things that are talked about out there. So Greg, when you're not investing in real estate, giving back to the community and doing those sorts of things, what's one of your hobbies?
Well, one thing I got into a little bit over a year ago is obstacle racing, or mud runs people call them. So they're runs anywhere from 3 or 4 miles up to 12 miles, and they have military style obstacles in them that can be anything from swimming across a lake to crawling through mud or walls or whatever else. So it's something that just kind of it's an exercise, obviously, thing that I do and work out, and kind of keeps my mind off of work sometimes when you need a break.
That's really great. That's really admirable too, and very dirty. I'm not quite sure what. You probably are pretty scary when you come back walking into the house, huh?
Yeah, definitely have to take a shower before you get in the car.
I was telling Greg a little bit earlier that my 18-year-old son is heavy into this stuff, and I'm thinking back now, maybe I don't want him crawling through the mud. I don't know. But you are giving back in such great ways. You're investing. You've made a success out of yourself. You've ridden the wave. And again, you continue to do and find just a little bit, something to do, the same type of principles, but just a little bit different. So what an amazing story, and what great success that you've had. And it's been a pleasure today bringing you Greg Bales, and we will see you again at our next success story.
Thank you very much.